She's acting cold. This is what you should really do. Modern Stoic. He who is brave is free. Seneca. She used to be warm. Her texts had life. Her presence felt open, even inviting. But now her replies are shorter. Her energy has cooled, and suddenly you're caught in your own head, questioning, analysing, searching for where it all changed. Most men, when they feel this shift, react from fear. They lean in too hard. They send longer messages, ask more questions, and try to win her back through effort. It comes from a good place, but it almost always backfires. Here's the truth. Few are willing to say when she turns cold, the worst thing you can do is abandon your own center, because it's not always about what you did. Often, it's about how you respond. A man grounded in self-respect doesn't chase uncertainty. He doesn't crumble when someone pulls back. Instead, he holds his frame, calm, composed, unshaken. In this video, I'll break down what's really happening when she pulls away, and more importantly, what a modern Stoic does next. No desperation, no guesswork, just clear, steady action rooted in emotional mastery. This isn't about manipulating her, it's about not losing you. Let's get into it. Number 1. When you speak, speak with weight. Don't chase, don't plead, don't crumble. When she's acting cold, when her warmth turns to silence and her eyes stop holding yours, resist the instinct to fix it with noise. That impulse to talk your way back into her good graces, it's a trap. A modern Stoic doesn't ramble or spill emotions everywhere like a man begging for mercy. No, he speaks with precision. He speaks with weight. One sentence, sharp, grounded, and steady like a mountain unmoved by wind. Say, I've sensed a shift. If you're figuring things out, I understand. That's it. No begging, no commentary, no follow-up text. Just clarity, and then you step back. That pause, that restraint, that silence, that's not passivity. That's power. That's the blessing of Stoicism in action. A modern Stoic knows that his words are a currency. Spend them wisely. Speak like each sentence costs you. Don't cheapen your presence by flooding her with explanations. Don't demand answers from someone who's already withdrawing. She knows what she's doing. And deep down, so do you. You must not try to fix her storm with your sunshine. That's not your role. That's not your weight to carry. Your role is to remain solid, clear, and still. That's what real discipline looks like. Speak only when your heart is no longer at war with itself. Speak when you've already made peace with walking away, if that's what's required. And when you speak, be deliberate, be precise, be brief. You don't owe anyone a dramatic monologue. That's not strength. That's theatre. Let her feel the echo of your silence, the rare gravity of your calm. Let her miss the steadiness she once felt beside you. Because here's the hard truth: if she's pulling away, it may already be done. And trying to win her back by talking more is like trying to put out a fire with gasoline. Don't. Be the man who can hold space without collapsing into it. That's what separates a modern Stoic from every other man panicking in confusion. That's what makes you unforgettable. Stillness, power, grace under emotional fire. Understand this to say less is not to care less. It is to care with depth, to hold your ground when everything in you wants to reach. That is mastery. The old Stoic knew this well. You must control yourself, not the outcome. You're not here to force clarity. You're here to be clear. If she comes back, she comes back. If she doesn't, then you keep your soul intact. That's a win. That's peace. That's freedom. The blessing of Stoicism isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about owning them, guiding them, letting them mature in silence until they become wisdom. So next time she turns cold, don't panic. Don't perform. Let your silence speak volumes. Let your one clear sentence hang in the air like a quiet bell, and then retreat with honor. Let her sit with it. Let her wonder. Let her feel your absence like a presence. That's the way of the modern Stoic. That's how men of real weight move. Number 2, shift focus to the inner battle. Don't get distracted by her chill. Don't scramble to decode her every word, every glance, every sudden silence. That's not your fight. That's not your battlefield. The real war. It's happening inside you. Her behavior is the weather, but your mind is the structure. And if you're shaking every time she pulls back, that tells you something important. Your peace is conditional. That's the crack in your foundation. That's where the Stoic life begins. Not with her, but with you. Stop asking, why is she doing this? Start asking, why does this rattle me? Be honest. Is your sense of calm hooked on her affection? Do you only feel grounded when she's warm and available? If so, you're not grounded. You're tethered. And you must untie that rope. This is one of the clearest Stoic lessons. The outer world will change. People will change. Emotions will rise and fall like the tide. You don't get to control any of it. What you do control, what you must master, is your response. If a storm hits and your house shakes, the problem isn't the weather, it's the structure. Sit with that. Really sit with it. That's not just a clever metaphor. That's the ancient truth. You can't stop storms, but you can fortify your inner walls, reinforce your center, build yourself into a man who doesn't get washed away every time someone else changes their tone. That's the blessing of a Stoic life. Not that life stops throwing punches, but that you learn to take the hit without losing yourself. Don't confuse calmness with coldness. You're not becoming numb. You're becoming steady. A rock in the river, not a leaf in the current. Let her be cold. That's right. Let her, not with bitterness, not with resentment, but with quiet acceptance. That's not indifference. That's discipline. That's strength. That's Stoicism in its purest form. You don't demand warmth. You don't chase validation. You hold your ground, even in the freeze. And yes, it will sting. The silence. The sudden drop in connection, but that sting is your teacher. That discomfort. That's where the gold is. You learn who you are when the affection fades. You see what you're made of when the mirror no longer reflects what you want to see. Don't run from that. Don't patch it with distractions or desperate words. Face it. Own it. Grow through it. That's the inner battle. And you must fight it with clarity and heart. So the next time she grows distant, don't ask what's wrong with her. Ask what's shaking in you. That's your cue. That's your responsibility. And that's your chance to evolve. Because real power isn't about control. It's about composure. The Stoic life demands it. Stoic lessons teach it. Your future self will thank you for it. Be still. Be strong. Be the structure that doesn't shake, no matter the storm. If you find today's content useful to you, don't forget to share your feelings and lessons with us. Or simply comment, "Very cool." It's a great encouragement for our channel makers. Thank you very much. Number 3. Let her curiosity do the work. When she pulls away, you don't chase, you don't plead, you don't panic. You hold the line, you breathe, you stay still like a mountain. That's the modern Stoic in motion. That's how real strength is shown. Let her curiosity do the heavy lifting. The more silent you are, the more her mind speaks. The less you react, the more she reflects. A man grounded in Stoic principles doesn't need to fill the silence with neediness. He lets the silence speak for him. She expects a reaction. She wants to see you flinch. She wants to test your foundation. You give her calm. You give her clarity. You give her nothing she can push against. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Let that truth guide you. Don't estimate her coldness as a crisis. It's a test. It's a mirror. It's a gift. This is where you rise. This is where you master your emotions, your instinct, your impulse. This is where the Stoic stands tall. You must understand true power is not in pursuit. It's in poise. It's not trying harder. It's in doing less with precision. When you don't chase, you become unpredictable. When you don't react, you become unforgettable. That quiet presence, unshaken and unmoved, builds mystery, magnetism, momentum. She starts to wonder, why isn't he affected? Why doesn't he chase me like the others? That wonder becomes intrigue. That intrigue becomes attraction. That attraction becomes respect. That respect becomes power. Let her curiosity work for you. Let her imagination paint pictures more vivid than any words you could say. Your silence is your sword. Your stillness is your shield. Your detachment is your leverage. Don't explain yourself. Don't justify your calm. Don't trade dignity for closeness. Let her feel the weight of your absence. That's the lesson. That's the move. That's the way. In the chaos of modern life, text messages, social media, emotional volatility, the man who stays centered wins. The man who practices Stoic principles wins. The man who channels Marcus Aurelius, who governs himself before trying to govern the world, wins. He doesn't get pulled by the tides of emotion. He anchors himself. He chooses peace over performance. He becomes a fortress, not a flood. Don't talk, don't chase, don't crack. Hold frame. Let her feel your strength in your silence. Let her chase the mystery you've created. That is the power of the Stoic. That is the legacy of the modern man. That is how you reclaim your edge. So remember, you don't move until there's a reason. You don't flinch unless it serves your purpose. You don't break unless it's to rebuild stronger. Stand like a lion. Think like a philosopher. Move like a king. This is not a weakness. This is discipline. This is not arrogance. This is mastery. This is not about her. This is about you becoming unshakable. Let her curiosity do the work. Stay silent. Stay solid. Stay stoic. Number 4, hold the mirror, not the mic. When she starts acting cold, less smile in her words, fewer emojis, a certain chill replacing the warmth, don't panic. Don't grab the mic and flood her with explanations. That's the rookie move, the insecure man's dance. The modern Stoic does something far braver. He pauses. He reflects. He watches without the need to fix or force. Remember, clarity isn't a prize you win by talking louder. It's a gift you receive by standing still. This isn't about making sense of her shift. It's about making peace with your presence. You must be the mirror, not the megaphone. That's the blessing of Stoicism. While others scramble to fill the silence with needy questions. Did I do something wrong? Are we okay? You stay grounded, composed, complete. You don't become the emotional puppeteer trying to pull her strings back toward affection. You don't plead, press, or perform. You hold. Most men crumble when energy fades. They feel the frost, and instead of layering up with patience, they strip down their dignity in a rush to bring back the warmth. Don't. Be still. Be that old Stoic who knew that emotional strength isn't in the reaction, but in the refusal to be disturbed. Yes, her change may be real, or imagined, but either way, your compass must point inward. Let your own behaviour be dictated by your values, not her vibe. That's how a modern Stoic leads, with steadiness, not speed, with self-respect, not self-doubt. Women notice these things, even if they never admit it. They feel the energy of a man who isn't shaken by shifting winds. They feel the difference between neediness and nerve. And here's the paradox by not reacting. You reveal everything, not about her, but about you. You become the contrast. She sees herself more clearly in your calm than in any confrontation. The modern Stoic doesn't sulk. He doesn't plot revenge or mirror coldness with cruelty. That's not strength. That's a tantrum in disguise. You must rise above, be emotionally sovereign. That means you don't wait for her to come back to feel worthy again. You already are. That's the whole damn point. Marcus Aurelius said it best. The best revenge is to be unlike him who did the injury. Or in this case, unlike the one who withdrew. You don't punish her. You don't chase her. You don't even need to explain yourself. Your calm is your answer. Your peace is your power. And your self-restraint is the clearest message you could ever send. So next time you feel the chill, don't rush to warm it up. Don't overtext. Don't overanalyze. Don't make her coldness the axis of your self-worth. You are not a puppet. You are not a performer. You are not here to audition for her affection. Be the mirror. Let her see what composure looks like. Let her feel what real presence feels like. That's the quiet strength of the old Stoic, reborn in the modern world. That's the blessing of Stoicism, not detachment, but deep, unshakable dignity. Let her do what she does. You hold the mirror, not the mic. If you found this valuable, like the video, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And don't forget to subscribe for more grounded wisdom. Comment to remember. I stay calm, I stay centered, I don't chase clarity, I reflect. Drop that in the comments to lock it in and to show you're not here to perform, you're here to stand firm. Number 5, don't chase the chill, master it. Don't chase her, don't flinch, don't react. When she goes cold, let her. This is not the moment to prove your worth through pursuit. This is the moment to remember it. A woman pulling away is not a signal to beg, plead, or explain yourself. It is a test, a battlefield, and the weapon is your composure. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength, wrote Marcus Aurelius. That is Stoicism. That is the command. When you chase her coldness, you validate it. When you react, you confirm she controls your state. But when you stand firm, unmoved, grounded, you flip the dynamic. You show her and yourself that your center is not negotiable. You don't chase what retreats. You stand where you are and let the world recalibrate around your energy. The modern Stoic doesn't ask, why is she doing this? He asks, what does this moment demand of my character? And the answer is always the same: stillness, presence, power. Think of yourself like a mountain. The wind howls, storms roll through, but the mountain does not move. That is the essence of Stoic principles: endurance without reaction, strength without spectacle, emotion without surrender. You don't need her warmth to validate your fire. You are the flame. You hold the line. If she pulls away and finds chaos in your stead, let her. If she finds a man who remains centered, let her feel the contrast. That contrast is power. That contrast is you. She may return, she may not, but your peace cannot depend on either outcome. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. You are not here to dance around moods or chase disappearing affection. You are here to master yourself, to command your state, to live by Stoic principles regardless of outside drama. She may be overwhelmed. She may be testing you. She may not even know what she wants. That is not your problem to solve. Your only task is to remain composed. Remain in your power. Remain loyal to your higher self. Let her feel your silence, not as a tactic, but as truth. Let your absence echo with dignity. You don't withdraw in revenge. You stand firm in respect for yourself. And if she values something real, she'll feel the pull of your grounded presence. If she doesn't, your stillness just saved you from emotional noise dressed as love. That's victory. That's self-mastery. That's what it means to be a modern Stoic man. You must not flinch. You must not chase. You must not beg. Hold your frame. Own your stillness. Be the mountain. Repeat it until it becomes your instinct: I don't chase. I attract through calm strength. Let that truth burn into your bones. In a world of weak reactions, emotional chaos, and constant noise, the man who embodies Stoic calm, who channels the timeless wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and the grounded philosophy of ancient strength, becomes unshakable. That is your edge. That is your duty. That is your freedom. Number 6, keep building, not begging. Let's get something straight. Her cold shoulder is not a stop sign for your life. It's not a cosmic message telling you to pause your mission and read between the frosty lines of her silence. No, sir. Her distance is not your cue to drop your hammer, freeze your dreams, and start decoding emojis like a cryptologist in a midlife romance crisis. Don't fall for it. Don't chase the chill. Keep building. You're not here to be a mood detective. You're here to be a builder, a creator, a man who stacks bricks, whether it's raining love or snowing confusion. That's Stoicism in real time. That's what Stoic life demands: progress without permission. Whether she's warm and giggling or cold and scrolling, your mission rolls forward. Because when your consistency depends on her affection, you've already given away your edge. You've outsourced your power. And that, my friend, is emotional bankruptcy. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying ignore her completely. I'm saying don't bend, don't beg. Be solid, be deliberate, be so focused on building your mind, body, business, and values that her emotional weather barely makes a ripple in your routine. Because when a man keeps building, regardless of who claps for him, something strange happens. He becomes magnetic. That's the quiet, stoic confidence that draws everything toward it without needing to chase a thing. Let's bring in some ancient wisdom. Shall we? Marcus Aurelius, the original CEO of Calm, once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's not just a quote to slap on your fridge. It's a stoic lesson in resilience. Her warmth, outside event. Her coldness, outside event. Your response. That's where your power lives. That's where stoicism starts working like a muscle, steadily, quietly, daily. And here's a little metaphor to keep in your back pocket. Life is like laying bricks for your legacy. Some days, you'll have a cheering crowd. Other days, it's just the echo of your own footsteps. But the wall still goes up. You don't stop building because someone stopped clapping. That's weak. That's needy. And that's not you. That's not how a man lives a stoic life. You keep laying brick after brick. Steady hands, focused mind, no drama. So what if she's cold today? The fire inside you should be burning hot regardless. Be the man who keeps going, not the one who pauses every time the room feels chilly. Her mood does not control your mission. Her distance does not delay your destiny. Be so locked in on your vision that her absence isn't a heartbreak, it's just background noise. And if one day she turns around and sees the empire you've built, your health, your discipline, your clarity, she'll realize something powerful. She didn't leave a man who chased. She left a man who rose. That's the difference. That's the win. That's the stoic life. So repeat this until it becomes your second nature. Don't beg. Build. Don't chase. Create. Don't stop. Evolve. Let your mission be louder than her silence. If you found this valuable, like, share, and subscribe for more grounded insight. Comment to remember, her mood doesn't move my mission. Let the world see you lead with purpose, not permission. Number 7, respect the distance. When she goes cold, don't chase, don't panic. Don't start calculating your next text like it's a hostage negotiation. Be the modern stoic, steady, rooted, unbothered. If she asks for space, give it. Not as some clever emotional chess move, not as a trick to make her miss you, but because space is sacred, space is respected. Space is what the old Stoic would honour without flinching. Her chill isn't your cue to fix, it's your invitation to pause. This isn't about playing hard to get, it's about being hard to shake. She may not even know why she's pulled back. That's not your battlefield. You don't need a reason to practice composure. Sometimes the cold winds blow, and the blessing of Stoicism is knowing you don't have to shiver. Now hear this loud and clear crowding, her won't warm her up. That's not how fire works. Push, and she'll just step further away. Not because she hates you, but because you've confirmed her instinct to run. Let her breathe. Let her stew. Let her figure out what's going on inside her without your hands all over the control panel. You're not a fixer here. You're the calm in her storm. As Epictetus said, don't seek for everything to happen as you wish it would, but rather wish that everything happens as it actually will. That's not passive. It's power. You stop scrambling. You stop needing her response to feel whole. If she stops texting, you don't spiral. You don't draft a speech. You don't sink into your chair with your ego on fire. You reply naturally, when and if it makes sense. Meanwhile, you get back to your life. That gym doesn't lift itself. That book won't read itself. Your purpose doesn't take rain checks just because she's acting off. You protect your peace. You guard your center. You show her, and more importantly, yourself, that your emotional thermostat isn't set by her weather. This is the quiet power of the modern Stoic. No tantrums, no neediness, no invisible string tied between your worth and her warmth. You're the man who sees what's happening and doesn't flinch. You don't rush to fix what isn't yours to fix. You stand still and strong, and that silence, that stillness, that is what makes her stop and think. Maybe for the first time, it's not manipulation, it's mastery. You're no longer acting like a boy panicking at rejection. You're embodying the blessing of Stoicism, the rare, unshakable masculine frame that says, I see where you're at, and I won't try to pull you in. That's the moment you stop chasing warmth and start radiating it. Let her come to that fire on her own terms. If she does, good. If she doesn't, even better. You just cleared space for someone who respects your flame. Be the old Stoic in a world of emotional amateurs. Be the mountain. Be unmoved. Number 8. Be the calm she didn't expect. Most guys spiral. You won't. That's the whole difference. When she grows cold, distant, aloof, most men panic. They launch into interrogation mode. They scramble to fix what they don't understand. They apologize for crimes they didn't commit. But not you. You don't flinch. You don't beg. You don't perform. You breathe. You lean into what Stoicism teaches, that your emotional stability is not up for negotiation. You don't trade your peace for her mood. That's the beauty of living a Stoic life. You meet chaos with calm. She pulls away, waiting for the usual script. She expects the texts, the questions, the what did I do wrong speech. But you do something she didn't anticipate, nothing. Not out of indifference, but out of discipline. You don't explode, you hold, you surprise her, not by chasing, but by staying grounded. That's not a weakness. That's power. That's presence. And that unexpected stillness, that's what cracks her assumptions wide open. She expected drama. You gave her dignity. Let's get something straight. This isn't about strategy. This is about alignment. The man living a Stoic life doesn't act out of fear. He acts from principle. And when someone pulls him off center, he doesn't throw a tantrum. He checks in. He asks himself, is this pulling me out of alignment? And if the answer is yes, he doesn't chase her. He returns to himself. That's the whole game. You don't collapse under pressure. You recalibrate. You step back, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. The Stoic lessons remind us, don't try to control others, control yourself. If she wants space, you grant it, without flinching. Not because you're cold, but because you understand that true connection can't be forced. It's either chosen or it isn't. You don't convince anyone to stay. You let your energy speak louder than your words. And when your energy says, I'm good either way, that's when people stop and take notice. Don't mistake this calm for passivity. This is active restraint. This is masculine maturity. This is the Stoicism most men never reach because they're too busy reacting. But you've trained for this. You've been sharpening your peace like a sword. You're not rattled by silence. You don't panic when the wind changes. You become the calm in her storm, the lighthouse, not the boat crashing into the rocks. So when she starts acting cold, don't retaliate. Don't beg. Don't explain yourself in silence. Be the calm she didn't expect. Let her feel your absence where she once felt your attention. Let her wonder. That's when she realizes you're not just another guy with emotions flying out of his chest. You're something else. A man who's done the work. A man who understands Stoic life. A man who doesn't just talk about strength, he is strength. The fire of masculinity isn't in how loud you react. It's in how still you stand. Be stillness. Be the standard. Be the man she never saw coming. That's how you win. With grace. Not games. If you found this insight powerful, like the video, subscribe for more modern Stoic wisdom and share it with someone who needs to hear it. Now drop this in the comments to lock it in. When she pulls away. I return to the center. Number 9. Energy speaks louder than words. Don't chase. Don't plead. Don't explain. A modern Stoic knows that energy, calm, solid, unbothered energy, shouts louder than 1,000 words. When she grows distant, when her laughter fades, when her attention drifts, you do not react. You do not panic. You do not collapse. You stand firm. You embody what Marcus Aurelius lived and taught. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Her behavior. That's an outside event. Her mood. Out of your control. What is yours? What must be mastered is your response, your energy, your center, your ability to stay composed when the world tries to shake you. This is Stoicism in real life. This is the battlefield. And yes, it is a battle, a test of how deeply the Stoic principles live inside you. She pulls back. You do not chase. You double down on purpose. You stay present, but detached. You remain kind, but immovable. She will feel your energy shift, not in desperation, but in power. You don't act cold to match her. You act steady to transcend her. You don't call her out. You don't ask what's wrong with her. You show, silently, what's right with you. That's the difference. That's power. That's the modern Stoic way. Because modern life will always test your emotional discipline. Whether it's a partner turning distant, a colleague undermining you, or life itself throwing curveballs, your job is not to flinch. Your job is not to get emotional. Your job is to respond, not react. The Stoic man doesn't seek control over others. He seeks total command of himself. That's what makes him magnetic. That's what makes him unstoppable. When a woman grows cold, she's watching to see what you'll do. Will you get insecure? Will you start over-explaining? Or will you look her in the eye, calm and sure, radiating the inner strength of a man who needs nothing and yet chooses everything? Let that energy be your message. Let your grounded presence say, I will not be moved. Like a mountain in a storm, you do not dance to her uncertainty. You remain the anchor. That silence, that calm. That's your greatest weapon. Seneca once said, no man is more unhappy than he who never faces adversity, for he is not permitted to prove himself. So prove yourself. Stand tall. Smile if you want. Stay calm. Let your stability cut through the tension. That is masculine mastery. That is Stoicism alive in your veins. You are not here to beg. You are here to build. You are not here to win her back. You are here to win yourself. Stoic principles demand you lead yourself first, then others will follow, or they won't. It doesn't matter. The goal is not control. The goal is alignment with your mission, your values, your strength. If she's acting cold, let her. Your warmth must come from within. And when you learn this, truly live this, you stop fearing the storm, you become the storm. So take this moment, this test, and turn it into triumph. Don't react. Respond, don't chase. Lead, don't doubt. Decide. Be the modern Stoic. Be calm. Be the strength. Be the man Marcus Aurelius wrote to. And then, walk forward, alone or together. It won't matter, because you've already won. Number 10. Stop translating her silence. Don't try to be a mind reader. You're not an emotional interpreter hired to decode every sigh, silence, or one-word reply. That's not your job. And frankly, it's not your place. If she's quiet, let her be quiet. If she wants to speak, she will. If she doesn't, it's not an emergency. That silence you're hearing, it might not even be about you. And if it is, well, that's still not your invitation to panic. You must remember this. Her behavior is external. Your reaction is internal. You don't control her moods. And more importantly, you don't need to. Stop spiraling. Don't read her short texts like ancient hieroglyphs, desperately searching for hidden meaning. Don't pace the living room like a Shakespearean hero about to monologue his heartbreak. You're a modern Stoic now, not a lost boy looking for signs. You stand still. You breathe. You observe. You don't chase emotional fog. That's her storm. Don't stand in the rain trying to catch the thunder. See, the blessing of Stoicism isn't emotional detachment. It's emotional discipline. The old Stoic didn't numb himself. He refined himself. And that's your charge. You don't react wildly to every cold breeze. You let it pass through. You don't confuse stillness with weakness. You hold your ground, because sometimes the most powerful move is no move at all. Don't text her 12 follow-ups. Don't ask if everything's okay over and over like a broken record of insecurity. Let her silence be. Respect it. She's allowed to process. She's allowed to pull back, just like you are. This is not about being aloof. It's about being solid, being clear, being the rock, not the ripple. You must understand that trying to force a conversation when she's emotionally distant will only deepen the distance. That energy, desperation wrapped in concern, doesn't feel like love to her. It feels like pressure. It feels like you can't hold your own center unless she's validating you, talking to you, soothing your doubts. And that is not stoicism. That's dependency dressed up as care. Don't fall into that trap. A modern stoic knows when to speak and when to wait, when to lean in and when to step back. You're not avoiding connection. You're honoring space, hers and yours. So next time she gives you the chill of a distant mood or a text that feels more like a full stop than a sentence, don't panic, don't flinch, don't launch an investigation. Instead, do the one thing most men are terrified to do: nothing. Yes, nothing. Go about your day, work out, read, focus, stay present, not as a punishment to her, but as a gift to yourself. The blessing of Stoicism is that you can care deeply without needing constant proof. You can love without chasing. You can be available without being overwhelmed. That's power. That's peace. That's the old Stoic in you, finally waking up in this modern world. Let her come to you. And if she doesn't, you're still whole. You're still calm. You're still standing. Because silence from someone else should never be louder than your own inner clarity. All right, my friend, thanks for watching. Listen, when she turns cold, your job isn't to warm her up, it's to stay grounded. Chasing rarely leads to connection, it often leads to self-loss. Instead, breathe, step back, let her space be her space. The strongest move you can make is not reacting, but remaining, calm, observant, unshaken. So if this hit home for you, type in the comments, "I stay grounded no matter the temperature," or just let it sink in quietly. That's enough too. Until next time, stay calm, stay focused, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. You've got this.